Well, one of my favorite movies at Christmas time is The Grinch, actually, believe it or not. And I know there's a couple versions of The Grinch. There's one decades ago, and then there's one with Jim Carrey, the live-action one. That's actually decades ago. It's 20 years old, believe it or not. And then there's the new animated one, the new cartoon that came out a few years ago. But I actually like the one with Jim Carrey because it goes really in deep with the Grinch and how he had his conversion. So it shows us behind the scenes how the Grinch left the community, how he left Whoville, and how his heart was broken there. And he ended up locking himself up in the lair, and from there he just hated Christmas. He didn't want anything to do with Christmas, so much so he wanted to be the Grinch who stole Christmas. And so that was his intent. Not only did he not like it himself, he wanted to steal it from everybody else. Now, I think that there's probably a part of all of us that is a little Grinch-like. And by that I mean, we are here to celebrate Christmas Mass, where Jesus will be born on the altar. And some of us may struggle to come here. Some of us may struggle with belief. Some of us may struggle with faith. Some of you might even been dragged here kicking and screaming, who knows? But what I love about the Grinch is it shows his conversion. And there's this little girl, Cindy Lou, who never stops believing in the Grinch. She always believes in his goodness, and she keeps inviting him to Whoville. She wants him to believe in Christmas. And it's through this little girl, through this child, that he's brought to believe and experience Christmas. And by the end of the movie, one of the things he didn't like about Christmas was all the consumerism. And so there's a beautiful line at the end of the movie where he says, perhaps Christmas doesn't come from a store. Perhaps, maybe Christmas is a little bit more. And we all know that around Christmas time, there's this loss of Christ in Christmas. I don't know if you know the actual word Christmas comes from Christ Mass. So that's why we celebrate Christmas. It's Christ Mass. So this is what Christmas is all about. It doesn't come from a store. And I think even our times today, we say Christmas is all about being together. Well, sometimes we can't always be together. Does that ruin Christmas? No, because Christmas is something a little bit more. So we're celebrating Christ's Mass. So I went on this journey to Whoville, and I thought, I'm going to go and ask the Grinch if he would come and be with us today so that I could talk a little bit about his story. So I don't know if we could look around and see somewhere in the church if we could spot the Grinch. Where is he? Anybody see him? Uh-oh. I see him. I see hands. It's the Grinch. Wow. Now, boys and girls, if talk to your parents first, but if any of you want to come up close and see the Grinch, you're welcome to come right here. Keep your distance from each other, but you can come right here. Just come on, run on up. Go ahead, you can sit right here. You're going to look at the Grinch, though. Hi, Mr. Grinch. Thank you for coming. Wow, boys and girls. Parents, did you see how quickly they ran up here? So one of the things I want to talk about with this Mass today, this Christmas that we're celebrating, is Jesus came, and the first ones that he brought to the manger were through his angels, and he brought the shepherds. And the shepherds came with haste. They were so excited by this angel that they came with haste. They went right away to see Jesus born in the stable, wrapped in swaddling clothes, laying in a manger. So just like these kids came with haste here to see the Grinch, why did you come up here? Can anybody tell me? Yeah. Good, you ran up here. It's kind of like the manger in the stable, yeah. That's at the end of the movie, he grows a bigger heart. That's perfect answer. So you wanted to see the Grinch because he grows a bigger heart. Anybody else? Anybody else just curious? You want to see what's going on here? Yeah. Well, good. He likes the Grinch too. What about you?
I like when the Grinch gets
When he gets what?
when he gets idea.
She likes when the Grinch gets idea. Very good. Okay, so these are like the shepherds, these children. When Christ was born and wrapped in a manger, the shepherds came with haste. They were so excited. Pope Benedict talked about this as having a holy curiosity. So the shepherds had a holy curiosity. They came with haste because they had this curiosity. Now, I hope that all of us here at Mass today have this same holy curiosity, that we come to experience Christ's Mass, to see what is going to happen on this altar. Because Christ comes to us at every Mass. He comes in 4 ways. In the gathered assembly, and all of you who are gathered here. He comes in the Word and the readings that we heard. He comes in the priests. And then ultimately, he comes in the Eucharist. So, boys and girls, very good job. I want you to stay right there just for a moment. Now, I want to ask an honest question. I need a volunteer, so I need you to be a little courageous, or you could just kind of blame the person you're with. Is anybody here because somebody else brought them here? Like they wouldn't have been here? Oh, look at all these hands. All right. Your hands went up first over here. Can you two come up? Wait, but bring who brought you. Who brought you? All right, you got to come up too. Come on up. That was a lot of hands that went up right there. We'll come to you in a minute, okay? Can you come up right here? Thank you. Okay, Grinch, meet your friends. These are your fellow Grinches. Okay, tell me why you're here.
What?
Why are you here?
To make our parents happy. We came.
Good. To make your parents happy is why you came to church. Anybody else here like that? It's okay, right? Is that same for you? Yes. All right, good. Are you the mother? Come here real quick. What did you have to do to get them here?
I just asked them.
Oh, you did. She just asked them. That's so sweet. What good kids.
Thank you. We think so too.
So the shepherds, you are very good. So the shepherds came because of an angel. The angel appeared to the shepherds and said, "You will find an infant wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger." And then there was a multitude of angels, a whole multitude of angels inviting them to come to the manger. And I want each and every one to think of who brought you here today. Now that may really mean like your parents or your wife or your spouse, but that could even been your ancestors. Maybe it was your parents that brought you here. Maybe it was your grandparents. Maybe it was your child because you wanted them to grow up in the faith. Somebody brought you here. I know for me it was my parents, my grandparents on both sides. It was their constant inviting, their constant saying, "Will you go with me?" And so that's what happened with the shepherds. They were brought there because of the voice of an angel. So it's okay if you're here just by an invitation, because you can still discover Jesus. But again, we have to have that holy curiosity. How can I find him here? Okay, now finally, my third point is, and one of the little girls mentioned it, who said the Grinch, his heart grew at the end of the story? Was that you? Very good. Do you want to come up here? Okay, then, if my 3 nieces would be willing to come up, or you could shake your head no if you don't want to. But come this way, sorry. Yeah, come right here. All right. So I need you to stand kind of in height order. Grace, you're getting taller than Kelsey? Are you taller? No? Okay. So what happens at the end of the movie? The Grinch's heart grows. How many sizes? It grows bigger. How many sizes? 3 sizes, right? So girls, give me a heart here, and a heart here. So the Grinch's heart grows 3 sizes. My hope for all of you this Christmas is here at the Mass, when we experience Christmas, Christ's Mass, that we are holy curiosity, that we come here like the shepherds, that we come here in haste. Even if somebody else invited us, we come here in haste, but finally our heart grows 3 sizes. Because if we're not experiencing God in our lives, it's not because of God. It's because of our hearts. Sometimes our hearts are too small. And that's why we celebrate every Mass with the penitential rite, this asking for conversion of our hearts, that he changes our hearts and to be like his. So I just invite you, if you've been away from the church or away from the faith or away from the sacraments, right now maybe Christ is calling you back. Maybe he wants you to experience this joy and this wonder. But we have to believe. And so I just invite you in the silence. I'm going to give you a little bit of silence after everybody's gone from here. And ask him for that. Lord, increase my heart. Lord, help me to believe. Lord, help me to wonder, so that we can all experience Christ's Mass. Now, the Grinch did bring a few gifts. So girls, you can each pick a gift out, these 3. A little favoritism here because they're my nieces. See what you get. Oh, an empty water bottle. Well, it is the Grinch after all. Post-it notes, very good. A paper clip. Wow, Grinch, you really haven't changed that much. All right, well, boys and girls, just for coming up, you cannot eat this during Mass, okay? But I'm going to give you some candy just for being so brave and coming up here, okay? So I'm just going to put it here. If you could just grab 1 piece, okay? Oh, no, this is not a good idea. Just throw it out. Oh, I hope I brought enough. You're good, thank you. All right, boys and girls. I will try to find some more candy between now and after Mass, okay? Give everybody a round of applause for coming up here. I'm going to give you some after Mass, okay? Mr. Grinch, thank you very much. Didn't you do a good job?